Welcome to a quick tutorial on G Suite for Education. My name is Okwemi Adirogba. I'm a senior facilitator and consultant at Greenland Educational Services. For those that don't know, Greenland Educational Service is a parent company of Greenland School, Greenland Hall, and Excel consulting firm. I'm also a certified level 2 Google for Education educator and a certified Google for Education trainer and innovator. Today we're doing a brief introduction to G Suite for Education. What is G Suite for Education? What the tools contain, what we should know, and what we should be doing. And our objectives today, at the end of this introduction, we should be able to know what G Suite is, have a basic knowledge of G Suite for Education, recognize the core tools of G Suite for Education and their functions, then application of G Suite for Education tools, and understand what cloud computing is all about. Notes, please. This video only contains welcome and introductory video and would not contain deep dives into each of the categories we are going to discuss. You are advised to do further research by yourself. You have been advised to take certification on G Suite for Education. We've talked about this previously in meetings and other communications by email to you and by word of mouth. Another thing I would like you to take note in this quick video is the style and the theme of the introduction, of the lecture, of the presentation altogether. And note, as I have little or brief information on my slides, I haven't made it too compact, and I expect us to use that in our future presentation and future classes for the students moving forward. Also, another thing I want you to guess is the number of slides that I have used in this presentation, and I've tried to keep it simple. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's just get straight into it. Now, what is G Suite? It's a collection of tools developed by Google to enhance collaboration and productivity. Its apps includes Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Drive, Calendar app. It also includes the Business app, a Hangout, Contacts, YouTube, Jamboard, and so on. From here we can see the forms, which I'm sure we are all familiar about, sheets, documents, calendar, Hangout or chart, Gmail, slides, Google Drive, Google Vault, Google Calendar, and Google website. So, believe it or not, G Suite contains about 32 apps altogether. However, today we'll be focusing on G Suite for Education. Now, what is G Suite for Education? Like I mentioned earlier, it's like G Suite. It's a collaborative collection of tools developed by Google, except in this case, these tools are focused on education and learning purposes. Now, what are the tools in G Suite for Education that have been tailored around education? Some of these tools I'm sure we already know. For those of us who are familiar with using Google, we already know the Google Drive. Then the Google Forms, which we'll be using to create tests, Google Documents, and Google Mail. A lot of us are familiar with at least these three apps. In this introduction, we'll be discussing and be outlining the introduction and brief introduction about these tools and their uses. Let's start with Google Drive. Google Drive is like your hard drive, some sort of hard drive. But in this case, it's a virtual hard drive. It's not a physical drive, it's a virtual hard drive which you can store documents, you can store information, you can store your documents, and so on and so forth. We have the Google Documents. This is like your Microsoft Word, which you can use for word processing, for typing questions, for typing letters, and so on. Then we have the Google Slides. This is your equivalent of the PowerPoint for presentation, for doing slides, for lectures like you have been doing, and so on. Then we have the Google Sheets. This is your equivalent again of your Microsoft Excel, which you can use to create. In all fairness, this is one of the few applications I don't know how to use a lot, but a lot of people are very good at it, especially to do mathematical calculations and other things which they are being used for, especially when you need to put things in a database and so on. Then Google Classroom, which we are very aware of, especially people in the primary school should be very aware of this, because this is a tool they'll be using a lot, and which will be introducing across board to every classroom teacher and every teacher moving forward. It helps you to be able to put all your work in one class, so that you'll be able to, it's for easier collaboration of your tools, that is your test tools, which is your form, your documents, which are either PDF or Word document, and your classes, which are made with slides or PowerPoint. It helps you to collaborate everything in one place so that students can be able to have access to them in one single app. Then we have Google Calendar. This is very useful for you to set reminders, to set yourself tasks, to be able to assign when meetings are, and it gives you notifications straight into your box, or whichever way you would want the information to get to you. Then we have Google Forms. This is again an unlimited application or tool which can be used to create text, quizzes, and can be incorporated into all other tools in Google Suite for Education. Google Keep. Google Keep is like your post-it sticker. It's good to save documents. It's good to save information you don't want to forget, and stuff you want to keep for later references, and so on. Then Gmail, of course, which we know. It's the mail service, which most of us are very conversant and familiar with. This helps us, it's like a mail server. It keeps your mail for you. It helps you to sort out your mails in the best way possible. Then we have the Google Chat. The Google Chat is used to do communication within an organization or within a group for real-time conversation and real-time gatherings to have information on certain things you want done with your team or within an organization. Then there's Google Meet. Google Meet is used to have conference calls, conference meeting, collaborative meetings within yourself and your group, within an organization or within a group of people remotely. Then Google Hangout. For people who have been using Google for a very long time, you would know about Google Hangouts. Google Hangouts was the initial one, the initial app Google started with. But after a while, they now started branching into Google Meet and Google Chats. Like I said, Google Chats is best for chatting, and from it you can also make video calls, but in this case, you can't make video calls to a group at once. You'll have to start selecting one by one. Like I said, I'm not going to go into deep dives. I will leave that to you to do in your own time. Then you have Jamboard. Jamboard is the app that helps you to have real-time interactive lectures with your students, with yourself, teaching them remotely online, and they respond online, and you can integrate this into interactive boards and stuff moving forward. But Jamboard is not effectively a core tool right now because we don't have any interactive board at the moment, but in the future, when we start purchasing interactive board, this should be a very useful tool in communicating and teaching students moving forward. Now, what do you need to know about Google for education, or what you need to know about G Suite for now? This one exciting news is you have unlimited storage for your account. As long as you're logged into the greenlandall.com, you have access to unlimited storage. It means you can store pictures, you can store documents, as long as all the documents you want to store, that is PowerPoint, Word, Excel, any document you want to store, you have unlimited storage for it. And on the Google Drive also, you can store pictures, you can store music files, you can store anything. You have up to about 5 terabytes of storage. So I mean, this is enough storage for anybody for a lifetime, because it's a lot for you to store. And if you don't have an idea of what 5 terabyte is, or amount of what 5 terabyte is, 5 terabyte is 1 terabyte in 5 places. 1 terabyte in 5 places. That is a lot. That's an equivalent of having a 500 gigabytes laptop. A 500 gigabyte laptop in 10 places. I mean, that's like you having 10 laptops basically, and of you storing information. If you still don't have an idea of how much this is, then this is it. It's an equivalent of 5 million megabytes. There's so much music, so much information, so much pictures and files you can store with 500 megabytes. Again, another thing we'll go into is the single sign-on. Is one of the major advantages of the Google Suite for education. Is you don't have to keep signing into different all these apps and all these tools. Once you sign into one, you can use it across all other tools provided for you. I mean, if you sign into Drive or into Mail, you can jump into slides, you can jump into documents instantly, and it's intuitive like that. Again, it's cloud computing. It works around all platforms. As long as you have a working internet and a smart device, that's your computer, your tablet, or your laptop, or your phones, as long as you have that, and that has a browser, and you can download, has a browser, you can jump into Google and you can log in. You can straight jump into Google Suite for Education and continue your work from where you stopped. You don't have to say, oh, I stopped here, I can't get it across this platform. As long as both stuff were connected to the internet at the point you are using it, it starts from exactly where you stopped. And again, it is browser enabled. This, you don't have to download any app or do anywhere. You can use it straight from your app. And when I mean browser enabled, I mean you can use it across all browsers, Microsoft's Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox, You can Microsoft Edge, Apple Safari, Opera by Opera, and as well as Google Chrome browser. Across all these browsers, you can use it and get all the efficiency you want in it. Again, what you need to be doing right now and what you should have done right now includes, you should have by now logged into your G Suite account. It's the only way you can have seen this video. If you are seeing this video right now, it means you have logged into your G Suite account. It means you have been able to access your charts, because I'll be sending this tutorial through charts. Be able to access your chart. You should have logged into your mail by now to see if everything else works. If you have gotten your previous emails have been synced into it, then I would advise what you should be doing by now is play around with it. See how you can Google G Suite can help you in your work. Try to move between slides and for example, docs, how we can incorporate it between themselves, how you can use forms and Excel together, and how you can incorporate and jump yourself. Then I would advise again, watch a lot of tutorials. There are a lot of tutorials on YouTube that you can watch that are targeted to your core tools that we'll be using for G Suite. Like I said, if you go back into this slide, you will see the core tools which I have mentioned. That's your Google Docs, your Google Slides, your Excel, your Drive, your Forms, your Google Classroom. Those are your core tools which I expect that everybody should be able to take advantage of now. A lot of tutorials are on YouTube which you can watch and show you quick tips on how you can use to manage and work effectively. Then again, we expect you to train yourself, inform yourself, do a lot of practices. I would always say something, anything that has to do with computer, it has nothing to do with, it's not they're never literature based. It's always try. You should always practice. You actually have to do physical practice. If you go to a school even to learn coding, you can learn coding from today to tomorrow. If you don't practice on it over and over again, you will forget it and you don't know. Some tips and tricks are never written in a book, which you have to practice to find out these things yourself and know how to know your way around it. So again, thank you for listening. I hope this has given you a brief insight on what Google Suite for Education is all about. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email, feel free to send me a direct chat. I will take your questions. I can do referrals on videos you want to watch too. I'll try as much as possible in the next couple of days to send more videos. Maybe not videos made by me, maybe videos I find on YouTube that I feel that will be educative for you and will help you to assist you throughout this transition. Again, I'm not expecting that this transition should be a hard-on transition on hard line that it's difficult for anybody. We have given about 2 months notice to say, get yourself Google certified, get yourself done, check these things, practice. Thank you again, and I hope you guys have a very lovely holiday.